welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take you through a running warm-up, about 15 minutes, including mobility and plyometrics. Jumping right in, this first stretch is a plantar flexion stretch. You're going to put the top of your foot on the ground behind you and drag it up until your feet are side by side. Hold for 30 seconds on each side. I definitely recommend holding on to something next to you, as this can be challenging for your balance because you're on your tiptoes on one foot and on the top of your toes with the other. This is going to be a great stretch though to wake up those ankles and just get the blood flowing down there to your feet. After you hold both feet for 30 seconds, it's time to switch to our next move. Now we are going to do the opposite and dorsiflex our back foot by pressing our body forward into the wall. Hold, and then we will switch feet for the other side. Now on to our next movement. We're going to just do some standing calf raises. Try and move as controlled as you possibly can, up onto your tippy toes and then placing the heels back down on the ground. Again, control is everything here. We're just trying to wake our ankles up to be prepared for the running motion. I did about 10 reps and then I pedaled my feet back and forth a couple times just to get a little extra fluid. Now moving on to some hamstring stretches, I'm going to sit into a resting squat position here and then stretch my hamstrings up and then back into the squat position and press back up. With each rep, you should feel your hamstrings stretching just a little bit more, but we do want to keep most of our running warm-up pretty dynamic because running is dynamic. So we want our muscles to be ready for movement. So that's why we want to do a dynamic stretch like this rather than just a forward fold and holding the position. Do about 10 reps with these resting squat to forward folds. And now on to some Cossack squats. So you'll see here that I sit all the way down and then do internal rotation with my knee. If you can't make it all the way down, that's totally fine. You can just stop halfway. But do about 5 reps each side. You can throw in the internal rotation if that feels good for you. I clearly forgot after the first rep, but I pick it back up here in a second. Now these Cossack squats are great for hip adduction and some deep hip flexion as well. I just feel like my runs go so much better if I get some dynamic hip mobility in beforehand. Really just getting fluid all the way around that hip joint. Moving on, we're going to now do forward squats, split squats. So we want our knee to go over our toe for some more ankle mobility, and then that back leg, we really want to keep it as straight as possible. I'm also keeping my hips square. So the front leg, I'm pulling my hip back, and my back leg, I'm pulling my hip forward. This is going to keep that deep stretch through both hips the entire time. You'll see I'm rocking a little bit, again, just because I'm trying to keep this a dynamic warm-up. I'm trying to mimic a dynamic run. So I'm rocking back and forth. You don't need to. The cues I told you before are going to be the most important. Now, I did feel like my hamstrings were so tight. I did deadlifts the day before, so a little forward fold. I hung there for a little bit, swayed back and forth, just trying to wake up the muscles. I was so tight from sitting at my desk all day too, so anything I can do to loosen myself up before the run, I'll do it. It is also extremely important to stretch your upper body. I oftentimes find myself bending forward, caving forward, slouching during my runs, and doing a nice chest opener like this can be super helpful. You just lock your hands behind you down by your bum, and then you press your arms down and back as much as you can. A lot of times you'll see people forward fold with this, and then they'll bring their hands up. Whatever feels good for you to get that chest nice and open. Now I'm going to go into some shoulder openers. You can barely see me here, but I'm just wrapping one hand down to the opposite side and stretching my side body, stretching the lats. And I go back and forth a couple times just to open things up here. Now I'm doing across the front of my body to open up the shoulder joint in a different way. Super basic gym class preparation here. Just opening it up, all of your joints, opening up the entire body. Running seems like a lower body activity, but in reality, everything's connected. And if your upper body is stiff and tight, your run is just going to be that much more uncomfortable. Dude, a couple of whatever these are. I don't even know, to be honest with you. I recorded this because I thought you guys would want to see one of my warm-ups, but I don't have any rhyme or reason to why I do the things I do. I just really needed to be opened up, like I said, after sitting on my desk all day. But this next part, we're going to get into some plyometrics here, so just hold tight. And then I have to do some downward dogs. This is one of my favorites. It's going to stretch up your hamstrings, open up the shoulders, and it puts your head and heart below your pelvis. And for women especially, this can be extremely therapeutic. Holding your womb space above your head and your heart. Just think about how powerful that is. So this is a great way to reset as well because you're somewhat upside down, so it helps reset your circulation. And now going into some classic yoga moves here. So this is upward dog. The tops of my feet are pressing into the ground and my thighs are lifted off the ground, and I'm looking up. Back into a child's pose, I hinge back at the hips and I'm keeping active with my hands, pulling my shoulders out of my socket. Deep, deep breaths through my chest, pressing into my thighs, and I'm just expanding my entire upper body. This feels so good. Anytime you want to do this stretch, it is extremely beneficial for just resetting your nervous system and allowing your body to feel at ease while also getting a good stretch in. And now I did some cat-cows. So this is scapular retraction and scapular protraction. So in this, you want to go from pushing through your arms and bringing your spine up to sinking deep down, bringing your chest down while allowing your spine to come down to the ground. And doing them back and forth again is going to be dynamic. We want dynamic movement before a run. We want to wake the body up. We want to move the fluid throughout. We release any tension, release any energy that doesn't serve us before we start our run. This is a full body stretch, and then I did some spinal circles here. I do one way, and then I do the other. Just waking up the body, feeling good, releasing tension. Again, this is great for before a run, but you could do this at any time of your day if you need a little release. All right, we're gonna hop up here, slowly come up, get one last final hamstring stretch, and then we're gonna head to do some plyos. All right, first plyo, single leg hops, waking up those ankles. It might hurt for a second, but you want to keep going, stay mindful of the pain you're feeling, and adjust the way you land on your foot. Some of y'all don't know how to breathe through pain, and it shows. That's different than breathing through injury. But a little discomfort doesn't mean injury. A little discomfort is just a sign from your body that you need something. So a lot of times when I first start these hops, my ankles are screaming, but I just adjust the way I land and I keep going, get the fluid in, wake them up, and everything feels fine. And that's why we do it before the run, so we don't get hurt. The next movement we're gonna do here is high knees. Bring those knees up to your hands. Again, waking up the ankles and preparing our legs for that hip flexion. When you're running, you should be bringing your legs up and forward. Obviously not that dramatic, but that's why we do these first. Now, I love these hamstring scoops. Again, my hamstrings were so tight from pull day, but you step forward with your heel down, and then you swoop down with each step. And this is a nice dynamic hamstring stretch. It feels so good. And I think I do them backwards now, which was kind of difficult, but also felt really good. So definitely feel free to try this. Full disclaimer, I'm not like a runner by any means, but I do run consistently and I run without injury. So I think my warm-ups are pretty good. Followed by that, we're doing some butt kicks. Again, waking up the ankles, preparing our legs for, running motion. Get those butt kicks going. Wake up the body, get your heart rate up. Super important to do a warm-up to get your heart rate up, because once you start running, you want to try and keep your heart rate down, but it's very natural for your heart rate to spike when you first start. I added in some jumping lunges. I thought this would be really great to get my heart rate up, and again, mimicking that run pattern with one leg in flexion, one leg in extension. Hippity hop hop. My balance was a little off. Again, it's really important to practice your balance before a run too. Running does include balance, and especially if you're running outside, the terrain changes, you never know when you're gonna need to pivot. Now I'm doing some lateral bound jumps, again, just to prepare me for whatever could come. I oftentimes will try and race cars across the street. Don't try this at home. And I will often try to jump up on the sidewalk or jump up on whatever. And so I just like to prepare myself to jump sideways, jump forward, jump whatever way I need to keep myself safe. My heart rate was up here. Last but not least, we have some broad jumps. Again, just wanted to prime myself for the power I needed to run. These are making me push through the ground and waking up my ankles again and getting my heart rate up again. So you see the common theme here. I really like to warm up my ankles, get my heart rate up, prepare for whatever terrain I might come across, and I hope this is helpful. Should have been about 15 minutes, give or take. Let me know how you like it if you try it, and I'll see you back for more.